What up? What up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the first episode of Fighting for Freedom podcast. Today I got my homie AJ here. He's been my ride or die ever since I joined the military. Actually in recovery mode right now.
100%.
Yeah, I got married last night, and yeah. So when you see this, it'll be probably like a week after the wedding. But yeah, we got married, and then not me and him, me and my wife Lauren.
Yeah, I would have been down too.
It is what it is now, right? But yeah, so I mean, the wedding was great, and this guy's all the way from California, but he was also one of my groomsmen. So it just goes to show, the military and all the good and bad shit that comes with it. I met you, bro.
Yeah.
How's it going? That was good. That was good.
That's how you know it's going to start off right.
Yeah, the wedding was good though, huh?
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, you got to come to New York and meet my people, your buddies, get crazy. Yeah, dude, definitely a good time. Yo, you know what's crazy too is I remember like when we met, like because we went to boot camp kind of the same time, but you were like doing your thing on one side and I was doing my thing on the other side,
Right.
And then we both like went to like our A school together, and like we were cool, but like we didn't like kick it or anything, right? But one day, like
at the mini.
Yeah, at the mini, bro.
$6 32-ounce beers.
Yeah, bro.
Pizza and wings.
Right before PT. Yeah, it was like a Tuesday. I remember because we had PT the next day.
Yeah.
And dude, we're sitting there and we're just throwing beers back because they were
$6.
$6 for like a 32-ounce of, and it was like Blue Moon, like
good stuff too.
Yeah, Shock Top was like good beers,
not just like the local light beer, or whatever they got.
Yeah, or some Coors Light. But but they had so they had those big 32-ounce beers, and we kept just stacking cups, and it got to that point where like whenever you've been drinking, right, and you're just like so, I don't want to say tired, but just so hungry and just so like over drinking that you're like,
I need food.
Like anything. Yeah, and you walk up, bro, and I'd look up, and it was like seeing Jesus for the first time, dude. My eyes are, pitter pattering.
Slosh.
Yeah, I look up and I see you walk over. Yeah, a fucking pizza and a tray of hot wings, and I was like, oh God, who is this kid?
You're like, this guy's great.
Yeah, really. I was like, this guy is phenomenal, man. Yeah. Like that hit the spot. And from that point on, I knew I was like
we'll get along.
This
is my type of guy.
Yeah. And then, as things progressed, we started quoting every movie because that's what we do. Yeah,
well, we were in the near the quarterdeck when they give us the orders, and we're like, oh yeah, so you three are gonna be in NFCB5, and then we're like, all right, cool, dope. I finally have someone that I know that's cool, that's gonna be with me for the next 5 years.
Like, what the fuck is NFCB5? You're like, it's in California. You were like, oh, great, it's an hour from my house, and I was like, oh, I put East Coast, but I think, did you do your picks? Did you get what you wanted?
Yeah. So, what happened was I was always told pick opposite of where you want to go, and at the time when it was East Coast, West Coast, or overseas, I actually picked the West Coast thinking I was going to get East Coast, but I'd never been to Mississippi before. But I'm glad I didn't.
That place sucks.
But our chief, she was really cool, and she was like, "Okay, West Coast, dope." Put me down on the West Coast, and then next thing you know, I'm an hour away from home.
Damn. You got lucky as fuck.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. Why? You got to go home all the time.
Yeah, but it's like I just had a part-time job. It wasn't even I had the military experience, but sometimes you just want to get away. You want to have new experiences, being somewhere new. But I was in another city that was kind of like LA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my list was, I heard about that pick the opposite, but I was like, nah, I'll be fine. So I put, East Coast, overseas, West Coast. I was like, if I'm going to East Coast, that's lit, because then I'll be closer to home, right? I mean, Mississippi and New York are not that close. Right. When you think about it, it's still a plane. Yeah. You're not going to drive that. Granted, I'm so glad I didn't get Mississippi, because we were there for a month, and it was
miserable.
No,
it was cool for that short amount of time that you're there. Yeah. But being there for years, yeah, no thanks, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
During the week, we went and shot guns and did some fun stuff. And then on the weekends, we would go and travel and explore and get hammered. And that was fun.
The best part was no PT.
Yeah.
That was the best part. No PT. Yeah. So literally after like we're done, shooting whatever we're doing, medical stuff, like, bro, we're out at the bar like right after. And it was like, that was dope.
Yeah, no, that was
trying food like crazy, all this all this food from the South, like that was.
And whenever we had like the classroom portions or whatever the case may be, and then you go to like a Waffle House to go get some breakfast, everyone's just like, they love the military in Mississippi. So like, you literally, if you go anywhere and you just even have to haircut, they're like, you're in the military, like your money is like not welcome here, but in a good way, And I was just like, whoa. And I was in California. I'm like, hey, I'm in there. They're like, fuck you. Oh, okay.
I think the only thing I've gotten other than Cali was this guy gave me a gift card to Starbucks. Like it was 3 of them, like 3 $25 gift cards. At the time, I never went to Starbucks. I didn't care about Starbucks. Yeah, I was just drinking like Monsters and Red Bulls and stuff. But so I just gave them away like to some family or whatever. But that was like the only gift that I got. I mean, obviously people tell you, every now and then, like mostly kids or whatever. But yeah, the dopest thing I got was like Starbucks. But I was like, oh man, pictures of shit.
I don't even know how to order this shit.
Yeah, like what is?
Well, let me get a double frappy venti whipped cream shaken with a straw. Oh, we don't do straws.
Yeah.
How the fuck am I supposed to drink it?
Yeah, I just want the large one. Oh, you mean venti? No, the large or whatever.
Yeah. I watched that Living Role Models and I was like, oh, venti 20, get it. Now I'm still just drinking to Dunkin'. I go to Dunkin', I'm like, let me get an iced coffee. They're like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm like,
coming up.
That's it.
Like,
good.
I don't gotta say anything else.
Yeah. No pledge of allegiance. Yeah, man. But then, oh shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, what was actually cool too is when we were in that time that we were in Mississippi. I had this roommate, right, and I didn't know who the guy was. I was brand new. He was like an undes guy, and then he like got his rate, and he was in C school. Well, he was in his ECS.
Yeah.
But I like got there on like a Friday or something with McClurg, and that Monday I classed up and like ready to go. He was there for like a month and a half, and he was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, they classed you up, and I've been here for like 2 months just waiting.
Yeah.
I've been cleaning every day. Like this is terrible." Little did I know that was Carlson.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was the BU Carlson.
Yeah.
And then when I met him in California, I was like, I know you.
Yeah, because I checked in first, Tennessee, and then that's when you went. Like you were there already, like straight from A school. But I had checked in at 5 already. When I was there for like a month and a half, or maybe like a little less than about a month, yeah. And then I get sent out. But I'm glad I kind of like that was cool because I met everyone already, kind of got like established, kind of knew how things were running. And then I went to ECS.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that. They just put me on a plane and sent me to Mississippi, and I was like, it's fucking hot.
Yeah, it was miserable.
Yeah,
I went in April. Oh, yeah, you were there. You were there in March, right? It was like March, but it was still hot.
That was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
They always say people don't forget. Yeah, I do. What color underwear do I have on right now? For $1 million, couldn't fucking tell you.
I don't even think I'm wearing it.
You got to save laundry. You save the Navy money by not utilizing their washers and dryers every day.
Oh, yeah.
Well, little do the people watching know that we're actually set up in my mom's living room right now. So, thanks, Mom.
I love it over here, though.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been enjoying your New York time so far, huh?
Great.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you got to come over and see my hood. Because, also, too, like, as soon as we got to Cali, like, that first week we were there, you took me to your neighborhood.
Oh, we went, it was,
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
So then it was prior that we went there.
Yeah, because we graduated in February. Yeah, because I went to ECS April. I know that. So we were there together before I had left.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, St. Patty's Day weekend. That was fun.
That was like my first like California experience.
Yeah. I had just got my wisdom teeth pulled out that Wednesday. I was miserable Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was starving by then because I was eating only yogurt and mac and cheese, like any soft thing I can eat.
Yep.
And then Friday comes around, I'm like, dude, I'm starving. Then we go to the hibachi grill. That was me, you, Stu, you know, and dude, I like ate like crazy, but I was only eating with my front teeth because I was like nibbling,
looking like a weirdo.
Yeah, but that was the best food ever. And then Saturday we were like, yo, let's just go down to LA, and you know, there's like a whole section street closed off and big old St. Patty's Day thing. So
we took the train from Oxnard, right?
The train.
I was like, wow, the trains are outside here. Everything's on the ground for us. It's like a dungeon. But yeah, that was cool. We took the train to LA, and then your family cursed me forever.
Dude, yeah, they blessed you, bro.
They
blessed you, bro.
Yeah, but then they let me pour my own. What is it, Menudo?
Menudo.
Yeah, that. Yeah. They were like, "Here, we'll do it for you," and I was like, "Why? I'm fucking."
Oh yeah,
you're like hair in my ass. I could do it.
Yeah, and you're like, "Oh, this is great. This is amazing. Oh, this is so good. This is curing my hangover." That's exactly what it does. But then, sure enough, when you did your own, you're like, "What?
It's like, why is this so chewy?"
Yeah. Then my sister was like, "Oh, we'll tell you after when you're done eating."
No, your mom and your aunt were like, "We'll tell you after. Just eat it, and then we'll tell you." And then your sister was like, "Oh, it's cow stomach." I was like, "What?" I was like, "You guys eat this for like fun."
It's the bomb.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely cured the hangover, but as soon as I found out what it was like I had the spins all over again.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Did you have anybody that was in boot camp with you that went to like NMCB5 or your school or whatever with you?
There was Knight was the only one.
Really? He was in boot camp with you?
Yeah, he was in my division.
Really?
But he went to Greece first, and then went to. But there was only like 3 CBs, I think, in my division. Yeah, I would say about like 3 CBs.
You guys get treated a little different too. I know I got treated different.
Well, like I used to be like, "Oh, dude, you're not gonna worry about this."
Yeah.
Like, but you know, obviously they still give you shit for it. But there was only like a chief CB too that was like would check in every now and then tell us like little stories or whatever. But but no, I don't think we got treated different. No. But yeah, we were like rare though.
Yeah, they were just like.
Yeah, half the people didn't know what the fuck what they were doing, or like the other half were MAs and BMs and all that bullshit. You know, like I'm like, bro, I have no idea what any of that shit.
ABHWS. What the hell is even that? I'm gonna be a plumber.
Yeah,
they were like,
I'm gonna be a Sparky.
This is how you tie down a ship. I'm like,
cool. I'm not gonna use any of this.
Yeah, like even if I was gonna use it. I'm not. I don't know how to do that shit. Yeah. You think I'm gonna remember? Like, you guys, they make me eat this shitty fucking food all day, and then they try to kill me, bro. They because I'm like allergic to like apples, but it's not like legit apples.
The skin.
It's like like whatever the pesticide, or however the fuck. I don't fucking know. Well, I found that out in boot camp because when I was younger, I used to eat apples. Go apple picking, and everything was great. But when I was in boot camp, man, fuck, dude, I'm sitting in the galley and like. The ship I was on had like 0 fucking amenities or options for food. The soda machines or like the juices never worked. Cereal didn't have it. Milk, nope. Coffee, nope. The little salad bar, couldn't tell you. Didn't have it. All we had was that one hot serving line and some rats and cobwebs everywhere. It was like the oldest ship there. And I'm in line, and I'm just tired and just over it because this kid won't stop fucking crying all night, and this one's bit. You know what I mean? It's just like you're just miserable because you're like, damn, bro, like it is what it is, right? So I'm standing there in line with my tray, and she's putting the food on, and I seen it, and I was like, nah, I don't want that, because like it didn't look good, and it's like, oh, whatever. So, but I guess like she must have used the same scooper or something. So I'm like, I'm sitting down and I'm eating my food and I'm like,
you look like, Will Smith from Hitch. He's like,
yeah. I'm like, I don't feel good. And then like, like I started getting really hot and my throat started like kind of close and I couldn't like breathe. And I was like, fuck, like I'm like having like an allergic reaction to something. Yeah, it has to be something. I don't know. So I got up. And what do you think happens when you see someone?
You got stressed you out.
Yeah, but I got up and I ran out of the chow hall to the bathroom. and all I saw was just RDCs chasing me. Like, he's fucking running. Like, yeah. But I ran into the bathroom and they followed me in there. Excuse me. And I was in the toilet, just shoving my fingers down my throat. I thought maybe that, I don't know. And I was just throwing up everything. And they're like, what the fuck is happening? And I looked up, I was like, they were like, holy shit. They're like, what the hell?
2319.
Yeah, man. So they took me to medical and they were like, what'd you eat? And I was like, I had this, and this. And they were like, are you allergic to anything? And I was like, yeah, like fucking grass and pollen, like every other American. And they were like, nah, you have to be allergic to something else. And then they narrowed it down to the apples that they were cooking. And I was like, how the fuck could I be allergic to apples? I've always ate apples. And they were like, well, you can like develop the allergy to it or whatever. And then I got the allergy test and it was actually like some type of fruit pesticide that they use, which is all on apples. So I don't know. Maybe they didn't clean them because
who knows what the fuck they do.
Yeah, I don't know. But then I was like, damn, bro, I got to go my whole life. When the doctor says, are you allergic to anything? I got to go, yeah, apples.
The fucking foreskin of apples.
Yeah. And they always say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But that's a fucking lie. Because if I eat an apple, I'm going to the doctor. And they made me carry around like a happy pen. And they were like, use it in case of emergencies. And I was like, dude, I want to use this thing right now. But I didn't. Like, I just want to try it.
I want to feel some.
Yeah, I just want to do it one time. Yeah. That was wild. Wait, were you ever like sick in boot camp? Were you like SIQ?
I think I was SIQ for one day and LLT for one. I just woke up one morning and like I couldn't see straight. Like everything was like off balance. Like I was dizzy. I literally couldn't fucking walk straight. Like I was walking like I was walking.
Yeah.
But I just fucking I couldn't like I literally had to have someone like walk me to medical. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck it was. They just probably just like organization or something. I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, I was just SIQ for one day, and then that was it.
So that's I got sick. Yeah, everyone gets sick in boot camp.
Oh yeah, you get sick as fuck, but like nothing to where I couldn't not do like the shit. But that one day I was dead, dude. I could not fucking do it. I was like kind of jealous of like that first week when you get there and like people getting their wisdom teeth pulled out and shit. So like they're just sleeping the whole time.
Yeah.
And you're over here fucking like working out, push-ups, whatever. And then you look at this guy, I'm fucking jealous. But then like, yeah, but I think those guys got like held back a week or something like that. I don't know, like I don't know how that shit works, but yeah, I was always jealous of those guys. Like, fuck, you get to sleep? What? Like, what is that? Like, fuck, I wish.
Yeah, you get.
But then once they got that day of like sleeping, I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, I did that. Because, like, I planned it out. I was like, halfway point, like, I am taking a fucking day
just
off.
like,
fucking... Yeah, I'm taking a day off. So I, like, played sick, and I was like, and I was like, dude, I'm getting a fucking day off. Fuck this shit. This dickhead can't tie his fucking shoes. This dickhead can't work an iron. I was like, I'm done with this. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm sick. And I kind of was sick, but not like enough where I was like, down and out of it. So I was like, all right, this is the day. Like, I'm going to take this day off so that I know I'm good, if I get some sleep. That backfired. Bad. Because I went to medical, right, on like Saturday or whatever, because I knew like Sunday was like a half day, like our Liberty, I don't know what the fuck it was called. And I went to medical and they were like, here, take this note, give it to your yeoman, and then have your chief sign it and you hang it on your rack. And I was like, all right, bet. So I walk in, I give my note to my yeoman. I'm like, am I good to go on my rack? And he's like, yeah, I got to have chief sign it. All right, no problem. And we need a tape because you have to tape it on there. Like, we don't just have tape, right? So that was like my whole argument. I was like, how the fuck would I put it up there if there's tape on it? I don't have tape. You have tape. He has tape. The chief never signed it. So the inspectors came, like the red guy, dude, and they walked right up to my rack and they go, you SIQ? And I was like, yep. I'm sleeping. Leave me alone, And they were like, Chief signed this paper? I was like, yes, he did. Chief was like, you're SIQ? And I was like, oh, fuck. Uh-oh. And he walked over to me and he goes, I didn't sign this paper. And I was like, yeah, I gave it to the yeoman. He said, that's his job. He'll do it. I'm in charge of the laundry, so I clean all the fucking dirty drawers. But he handles all like that shit, you know.
Yeah.
And he never got assigned. And Chief was my rack, and he just let me have it in English. And then he was like, "Yo, tomorrow Sunday, after your little time off that guys don't even deserve, I'm gonna let you fucking have it." And he did, dude. He let me have it bad. And then I answered back by saying, "Yeah."
Oh,
that was the worst.
Fucked up.
Yeah, because then he was like the CDO that next day. So we were all sleeping. He comes into the compartment. Probably can't do this, but he did it anyway. And I was just like, "This is lit," so whatever.
Yeah.
Came to the compartment, fucking shook my rack. Let's go. I was like, "Uh-oh." I was like, "I'm about to go either wash this guy's car or I'm going to get my ass handed to me."
Yes.
And he brought me downstairs in front of his office, and he goes, "Just start doing push-ups until I get tired." And I was like, "Oh, God."
Oh, shit.
So I was just doing push-ups and all these other exercises, and it got to the point where there was like such a puddle of my own sweat and just like spit and like, it was bad. I couldn't even hold myself up doing a push-up no more. And he was like, "Are you going to say yeah?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "No, Chief, like, I think I'm good," And he was like, "All right, just watch your language." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And I got it.
That's
Yeah,
all I talk about.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm from Brooklyn. You're from like Nebraska.
It's the middle of the country.
Yeah, like what'd you expect? But that definitely taught me don't say yeah to him ever.
And also, like what we learned, like don't trust a young man to do your shit for you.
Yeah, right.
That's like, what the fuck?
Oh, household goods? Oh, they're gonna be late.
Yeah. Like, hey, is this shit signed up yet? I don't know you feel right up here. Like, no, bro, like I literally just gave it to you like 20 minutes ago.
Do you know want me to be home for? Retention's so low, but even when I'm trying, it's not.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit in boot camp. You have any crazy stories from boot camp?
Crazy, like more. I have more funny moments.
Okay, what you got?
We're doing like the Chiefs come in, do the inspections on everyone, and I was our park, right? So I'm over here like writing down like everyone's grades or whatever. Like whatever. If someone passed.
You got to walk around.
Yeah, bro.
Dude,
that was great. I didn't have to answer no questions or nothing.
You don't stand at attention.
Yeah. I don't fucking walk
Your
around
inspection was bullshit.
with a pin pad. Right? This kid's name is Fogel.
He already sounds like a fuck up. Isn't that the dude from Superbad?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So the chief goes up to me. He's like, "Do you have a ID card by the name of McLovin?" This kid had no idea what he was talking about, so he's scared and he's like, "No, chief." And then like I start fucking like cracking up, but like I'm holding the pad, just like trying to hold it in. And he's like, "You sure, McLovin?" He's like, "You sure? Like, no one calls you McLovin?" And he's like, "What? No, chief." And then I was just fucking busting up. And then like he like chief kind of looks at me. He's like he kind of gave me like a nod, like I know what the fuck he was talking about. And then another inspection, our senior chief was like going around like doing like the pre-inspect whatever, and then he's like checking everybody, and then asking questions, right? But it was all like Navy shit. The first like 20 questions, and then he goes up to this one guy. He's like, "Who sings the song? Is Bro, I fucking lost it, bro. I literally like busted up laughing, and it was all quiet in the whole compartment. Like no one's laughing, like, and I'm fucking dying. And then he's like, "Arpak, shut the fuck up." I was like, "All right, dude." Yeah. And then I'm like writing this shit down, and then I fucking like 2 seconds later, he's like started going at it again, and he's like, "Arpak, drop." I was like, "Fuck." So I'm fucking doing push-ups, like 25 push-ups, whatever. They got back up, but dude, RDC's like. Yeah, boot camp is like, shitty, whatever, I guess. Like, some people have different experiences. But those are some of the funniest guys that, like, you'll ever, like, some of the shit that comes up from their head is, like, the funniest shit that you'll ever fucking hear in your life. And you'll just, like, never forget it. And, I still, like, picture, like, the looks on their faces when they're just tearing someone's ass out. And, like, the shit that they're saying. Like, oh, my God. It's fucking hilarious. It's literally comical. That's the shit that you kind of, like, hope someone fucks up just to like laugh your ass off, just to kind of give you like a little bit of boost, like it's just something to kind of like look forward to. Like, oh, this kid's a dirtbag. Like he's gonna get something's gonna fuck up. And yeah, dude, like the RDCs are just they're tough, but they're so funny. Like the funniest fucking guys. Like the way I felt bad for the fucking our sister.
Your sister Div.
Yeah, sister Div. Yeah, like they got their asses beat. Like you would hear them like literally all fucking day just counting. Like and ours like we got beat like crazy too. But like you like literally all day those guys and I felt bad. Like every time we would go over there, like you would. You meet up the compartments, like, to do training or whatever.
They walk in just miserable.
Oh, they hated their life. Yeah. And then you would not want to, like, piss, like, their artists because they'll rip you with them. They're like, oh, you want to see what our fucking division's like? Or our, fuck, dude. Like, those guys got ate up, like, bad.
Yeah, they would do the same thing. I mean, we had a brother did. Like, I didn't see a girl for the first 3.5 weeks of boot camp. Because I was all guys and... It was just shitty. I was like, holy shit.
Dude, PT. When we all play PT together, you're just like looking around like,
yeah.
Oh my god. Like,
everything looks good. Yeah. Yellow fucking shirt.
Yeah, you're like, the ugliest girl would be like a 10. Oh man, anything to do, just like smell her, like run past her or something, like, fuck.
Yeah. Our brother Div got their ass kicked a lot. And they had this one RDC, and he was a fucking comedy genius, dude. He looked like Dave Chappelle, and he'd his weight, his face, the way he talked, the way he acted, and he would always just come in our compartment randomly and just be like, "Drop." I'm like, "You're not even my fucking," he's like, "I gotta do it, right?" And then he'd walk around and keep fixing like the back of his MSUs, and he'd be like, "Y'all fucking suck. This place smells like shit." And then he would come and find the one person that he just didn't like. And empty their entire rack on the floor and be like, why is your shit on the fucking floor? Like, you just fucking put it there, what I mean? But it was so funny. It was like memories like that I'm glad my rack was kind of like more in the back, so he wasn't going to walk that far to do it. Yeah. But Arpog definitely got fucked with the most because he was right by the front door.
Yeah, we were the first two. Yeah. Us and the Yeoman. The Yeoman was 39.
Really?
She was like the Murphy. Yeah, he was old, dude. They gave him shit, bro, just for being old. Like they're like, all right, old man, like, let's see what you got, dude. Like, I mean, he showed me pictures of him, like when he was young, he had a big beard and stuff. But like, obviously, like you're bald there every time shaving and head cut everything. Mm-hmm. So I think it made him look older, and so he looked like an old man, dude. And like everyone would like walk by him and be like, oh shit, like how old is this guy?
How the hell did he get in?
Yeah, but I mean, he was a reserve. He had that cutoff, like I think after a certain age.
Oh, okay.
Reserve, yeah. But dude, they gave him so much shit. Like, I felt bad. I think we did they chewed his ass bad one time for we do the fire drills, or whatever. You got to grab the bag and all that shit. We forgot like the roster or like the sheet that had everyone's names on or some shit like that. I don't know. He forgot something though. So we went out to the grinder. Oh my god, dude. I don't think it was raining, but it was at night. It was like late at night. And yeah, dude, it was, I felt so bad for him. Like, dude, he was like right next to me. And I was
like, dude, I am not.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I'll never fuck up like this.
I will never forget a piece of paper in my pocket.
Yeah.
I guess they kind of just teach you, like even the littlest fuck up can mean something like drastic.
Yeah, lay it down.
But that's so hard to do in boot camp because like you have like you start like with 100 and some people and then you always like end up at like whatever number you fit. Yeah, like 80. It's usually like the random back number. But there's always those fucking like 5 kids that I just don't know how they made it that far in life, dude. We had this one dude, and I'm sorry if you're gonna hear this, but Crosby, you did not have anything together, bro. But there was this one. There was this one time, bro, because he slept on the bottom rack, right? Yeah. And his rack mate above him was going to get down, like in the middle of the night to go take a piss. But this dude Crosby was like sleeping, right? And he was a tall dude, so like he couldn't really fit. But he had like his face like on like the metal part, like on the rail, and this dude jumped down from his rack, and his fucking face was right there, and he lands on his face, and I hear, "Oh!" We're like, "What the fuck?" And this guy gets, he stepped on my feet. I'm like, "What the hell?"
Oh my god!
So fucking funny, dude. He just, I don't know, he literally was like lost entire boot camp, and they knew it, so they didn't like give him too much shit, but they were just like, yo, like, I need you to fold this fucking shirt. Like, that's all I need you to do.
Those
like,
guys are bad.
Put your fucking hanger on the hanger. You know what I mean? Like, how hard is it? Like, when you take your book bag off, put your little wrap thing back. You know what I mean? Like, it's simple shit.
Dude, or even like the guy, like, you ever, your blanket, you have to fold it this way, have like the, the 90s,
Yep.
Bro, like, I don't get how you just, like, can't, like, do it. It's so, it's literally just one direction that, like, the arrow has to face or whatever it is, like, and these guys will just fuck it up so bad, and you're like, dude, how do you survive? Like, even outside of this, like,
there's 200 fucking beds all the same way.
Yeah.
What's
take
different?
a look around, like, how's that? Yeah.
You're like, what's different about yours? And then they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, I'll tell you.
Like, like the first day when you're stamping everything, like all your names, initials, and like these dude, like just the most simplest instructions of like, put your initials, like A dot, like whatever. Dude, these kids will fuck it up like bad, and like you're just like, dude, it's the simplest instructions that they give you, and you still fuck it up. Like, it's just your initials. Like, how hard is it? It's keeping a lowercase or like, put in their full name, fucking social, whatever,
phone number.
Bro, like, come on now.
Yeah. And then you noticed it too, because like, well, I was like the laundry PO, right?
Yeah.
So I would, I had to do all the laundry, but I would like see like certain people's shit come in, and it's just like a stamp, and then it's like crossed out with another stamp, and it's upside down.
The one line, one line that, like, oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
dude, like, how fucked up? Like, I didn't know you can fuck up a stamp that bit. And it's not like you have to, like, change the stamp every time it's set up.
Yeah,
and like they show you, they're like, this is how it needs to be. And they come around and they look at it, they're like, okay, you're good. So do that. And they're like,
Get over here.
Like completely missed. And I'm like, dude, I don't get it.
I think one of the funniest, it was day one, right? Like, you get there, you get off the bus, and they're already talking shit to you, whatever. And then my phone died, so I couldn't call home.
Me too.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I tried to use the guys next to me. They were like, just fuck, call anyone. I think I was able to make a call. I wasn't sure, but I know my phone was dead, so I was like, whatever. But we're getting our uniform. We're like lined up to get the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy, we depped in together. His name's just Jay, like just the letter J.
His last name is Jay.
No, first name Jay, last name like whatever it is. And they're like, we're about to put all the boxes to ship home, whatever. Like, put everything in, and they're like, put your fucking full name. So he just puts J and then his last name. Oh my God, they fucking came in hot on this kid, and they were like, we said put your full fucking name, yeah. And then he's like, my name's Jay. And they're like, just Jay? He's like, yeah, that's my name. Yeah. They're like, what kind of fucking name is that? It was so funny. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I was like, poor kid. Like, this is day one. Like, literally like 20 minutes in, like doing all this shit. And they're like, well, that's fucking stupid, but all right, like, keep going, or whatever. Like, I never met anyone with just a single name. Like, I go by AJ, but like, it's my initials, obviously. But, but his kid's name was just Jay.
He went there knowing like they're gonna find.
Oh yeah,
like, there's no way they're
fucking be bad. Yeah.
And it's always bad when you fuck up on like the first day or the first week. That happened to me too, bro. Like, as soon as you get there, it's like when you do like all your little admin shit, but then you go in for a haircut, right? So I'm on the line, and at the time I had like long hair, and it was like bleached. So I looked like a soccer player. I had a big beard too, but I shaved that before I went because I knew like there's no buzzer. Like they're not gonna shave it for me. So I was like, I'm not gonna have this thing, and my face will be all scarred. So I shaved my face, but I left my hair, and I had my hair tied in a man bun, like a pink scrunchie. Because I don't know, I was just like that. That's just who I was.
Just trying to make a statement or something.
I mean, kind of not like I loved my hair. I just didn't want to get rid of it. I used to like braid it, do like a bunch of shit to it. I literally look like a European soccer player. But I was online, and this RDC comes around. He's like, "What the?" And and he's screaming, running down the hallway, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Oh, they're gonna get you." And then he seen the pink scrunchy thing, and oh god, he was just so happy to watch me get my head shaved. And he just didn't like me because they just don't like me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Fuck, this sucks. They're gonna shave my head." So they shaved my head, and the hair falls on the floor. And he grabs and he goes, "Drop this," and he throws it out. I'm like, "Oh fuck!" He just took my hair, and now you're like fucking with me.
Yeah.
Fast forward a day, whenever you meet your RDCs, it's that same dickhead. It's my RDC, and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, it's you, pink scrunchy kid." And I'm like, "Oh god!"
I'm sure you're getting spurred by everybody else.
Yeah, that's the same dude who brought me into to his office and made me do push-ups until he was tired.
Oh.
Yeah, he fucked me up.
Yeah, I went in bald. Like, I was bald like a month or two, maybe, like, because I went, obviously went in August. So for the summer, I went bald, like, just because, one, I want to tan my head. I didn't want to be like the one white head,
That's smart.
Yeah. So, like, that whole summer, I was fucking just bald, like, skin bald, razor bladed. So when I went there, I mean, probably it was like a day in, but, like, it was nothing. So, like, I still had to sit in the fucking chair, though, and they were, like, shaving nothing.
They were like, "Okay, next."
Yeah, I was like, I just felt the shit in a little vacuum.
Yeah.
But
Did you get your hair cut by the dragon lady?
Oh no, I think my second one I did.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she cut me once, and then there was some other dude who's been there forever. He cut my hair the first time. That was just he loved it because he was just like, "Oh, there's going."
Yeah, I wonder what they get paid like. Like,
I don't know. They probably get paid good. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't tip them. So.
Thanks. I'll be here next week.
Yeah. Well, my whole mentality too was like, yeah, I have long hair, and I know I'm not like supposed to. That's why we're getting it cut.
Yeah.
But I have to pay for this haircut. So why am I going to go pay for a haircut just for you to give me another one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you paid for that haircut even though you were bald.
Yeah.
So I was like, why the fuck am I going to go get a haircut when you're going to make me get one and make me pay for it?
Yeah.
I never realized that they make you like pay for everything. Like when I first went, my recruiter was like, "Yeah, man, you're gonna get out with all this money." No, well, they gave me that little gift card and there was like nothing on it.
Yeah, I remember like when they let us. This was probably like week 5, 6, maybe.
I'll go to the store.
Go to the store.
Oh, you went to the store?
Oh, that was. Dude, you felt like you felt like kind of normal again. You're just like, oh, I gotta shop around, I gotta buy some cool shit, whatever the fuck I want, really.
Yeah.
But I was lucky enough to keep my watch that I had, and because I was like appointed like ARPOT, whatever. It's just,
yeah, you needed it. It was certain people who need watches.
Yeah.
Me, I was.
Yeah, so I was glad I got to keep mine. Dude, I would be taking a shit and I'd just be like playing with my watch, like all the settings, just kind of like pretend like it's a fucking game or something. Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, fuck, dude, like this is boring. Like,
there's
like,
nothing to do.
Yeah, like,
and this curtain does not like hide anything, so I'm just shitting in the open.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so bad. Just the whole bathroom situation was just miserable. Gang showers are just so annoying. Just a bunch of dudes naked lined up. It's just like you don't even get to like shower. Like we literally would just walk in and they would put like soap or shampoo in our hands.
Yeah.
And as we're walking in, we're like dry, rubbing everything in, rinse off, and you come right back out. And I was like, oh. Sundays was nice because you got to actually take a shower, you know. So we would just go sit. I would just go sit in the shower for hours.
Yeah, because all the time, like these fucking kids never like, you know, it's like 15 minutes on one side, 15 minutes on the other side for everybody. Like, and you have like 60 people fucking trying to take a shower that was like starboard, port side or whatever. This took fucking forever. And then, you got the kids that like will take a shower like late, like once it's like bedtime, you're like, dude, like, come on.
Yeah, like.
But I mean, I get it, like
you gotta clean it too.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have both showers open, and we didn't have all the sinks open.
Oh, really?
All the toilets, all the urinals, none of it.
Oh,
we had like 3 of each and 1 set of showers, just so we kept the other ones clean all the time, and then we only had to clean like a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But when you have like 150 dudes all sharing like 4 sinks, it's annoying. I was hoping people got fucking ass mowed. Like, That was, remember that? Like when you would go somewhere, do like whatever training or class you had to do, and then you come back in the compartment and you just see these dudes standing in front of the fishbowl. Yeah, at attention or parade rest, and you just see all that shit packed up. I'm like, fuck. That was the number one fear.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, there was this kid who he had already gotten asthma like 3 times.
I had a kid like that too.
Yeah. And dude, this kid, you did not want him in your division. Like, we were not trying to get him kicked out, but but he had been set back 3 times, and how he got, I don't know if he got kicked out or he got asthma again, but he pissed in someone's fucking water tool. Like, yeah, this kid was just a piece of shit. Like, the worst kid ever.
Fucked up.
Yeah, he would shave in the shave his pubes in the shower. He pissed in someone's water tool. I don't know, I don't know what the fuck happened with that kid. I'm glad I never saw him again. But he was just a piece of shit. Even you guys ever do like those once it's time to go to sleep, he has a little talks.
Oh god, was he a talker?
No, but he'd be like, everyone's out to get me. Fuck all you guys. Like, but everyone's just like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're a piece of shit.
Shut up, Nelson. Whatever the fuck your name is. Yeah, dude, I hated that, bro. Yeah. I was not for that. And I got in trouble one day because I just told the dude, like, shut the fuck up. Like, go fuck yourself. We need to be a team. We're never going to get through this. I'm like, yeah, bitch, 8 weeks. I'm out.
Coach is right, guys. Yeah. I had to do that sometimes just to kind of fucking snap people out of it because they're dumbasses. But yeah, looking like hindsight, I'm like, that's lame. Like,
yeah. And then
dude, that doesn't matter anyways. Like, as long as you do your shit, you're gonna get the fuck out of there. Like, so I felt like a loser, just like thinking back now, I'm like, I was toxic. Come on, guys, like, fucking, we could do this, guy. Like, the team.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, that was corny. I feel some corny ass shit, probably.
Yeah. I grew up in fucking LA, bro, and I'm over here telling this dude that I got homeschooled that we need to stick together.
Yeah.
I need to go fuck himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, some people were just hopeless. Yeah. Like people who joined the Navy and like, I don't know how to swim. Fuck you. And granted, maybe, it's like a fear or they just don't like water. But I'm like, you joined the Navy. You can't swim. Like we're Seabees. So we don't go in water. We don't go really near it. So I guess that kind of makes sense, right? Yeah. Like that was
that shouldn't be like the disqualifying factor of my service,
maybe like not knowing how to use a drill would make sense.
Yeah.
But you join the Navy and you can't swim, and sometimes I wish that I would have been like, oh, I can't swim, just so I can go every day and swim for free. And these motherfuckers get to miss out on everything.
Fucking doing laps.
Chilling, making myself choke on water and shit, just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go swim and not go do this other dumb shit. Kind of envied them sometimes. Damn, bro. But I was good at swimming, so I swam in high school and all that shit. Not high school, I probably did, but fuck. These guys should do all this fucking dumb shit. Yeah. But you were art so you had to deal with everybody.
Yeah, all the fucking complaints, all this guy's fucking like, bro, come on now. Bro, we're all adults here. Well, something.
yeah.
But yeah, fucking I had to deal with all this. But at that point too, there's certain things where I can be like, hey, I gotta go do some paperwork with the yeoman, he needs help, whatever. Well, everyone's fucking. I'm like, later.
Or I would as soon as I seen they someone look out of the fishbowl and they had that look in their eyes, you're like, we're about to get.
Yeah,
I'd be like, laundry. Because I was the laundry crew guys. Yeah. So it wasn't my position. I wasn't the guy. But I kind of took it over because they were just harem guys. He's older. He's loud. People get it. They listen to him. So I kind of just took that job over without anybody else knowing. But I was like, laundry crew, let's go. And they were like, okay. So they'd all run in there we got shit to do. I'm like, no. But I ain't trying to get beat. So we would take all the big laundry bags and put them in that back room. And I'd be like, all right, this is what we're going to do. You're on watch. 5 minutes, you watch the door, you take a nap in this dryer, and then lean in it, be sleeping. And then someone would go in the back, normally me, and I'd take a nice nap on the big ass, bags or whatever. But one time, they walked in and I got my ass lit up, but they were just like, "Yeah, we get it." I was like,
Yeah, fuck. There was like everyone trying to like take advantage of like the slightest thing, the slightest moment, like the little minutes that you had to do something that like you shouldn't do, but you just like had to, you know. It was like,
yeah, you wanted to like not have to deal with it, and two, you were just sick of it, and you just, it got to be fun. So you were like, what can we do now? You know?
Yeah. How did you get E3? Like right off the bat, like was it because of your like college credits or something?
Yeah, I went to a nursing school before I enlisted, so we both joined a little late, right?
Right.
So right after high school, I went to college, like a city university here in New York. I was there for like a year and a half. Didn't really like it, so I didn't drop out. I just after my third semester, I was like, all right, fuck this shit, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I need to do something. So I went to nursing school, and I did that for 2 years because it was like an excelled program.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get any days off. We only got Christmas and Thanksgiving off.
Oh,
that was it. So it kind of sucked, but it helped me get my associates like really, really fast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I went in as an E1, but you take that little test.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you, fuck your test.
If you pass like the PRT or whatever, the first one, and then you take the test, and like, oh, you get automatically like E2,
Mm-hmm.
and then as RPOC, they promoted again. So it's E3 like coming up again, which is solid because it was like quicker to get. I mean, not really quicker, but to pick up E4 at the time.
Yeah, no,
I was E3 for 3 years, I think it was.
Yeah.
Like after we got out. Like,
we had like the entire like.
You got this shit tatted right here, E3 for life.
We had the entire like route set up. Like everywhere you went, I went. Like we were together the entire time. And we even came out E3, but I don't know what I did different. Well, it was my college that helped me pick up E4 too, because I took the exam.
Your credits, yeah.
I took the exam and like I didn't fail it, but I didn't make rank by like 0.6 or some shit like that. And I was like, oh, fuck it, I didn't make it. I'm miserable. But someone ended up, one of my second classes was like, yo, check your profile sheet. And I'm like, fuck that, dude, I failed. I don't want to see how bad I failed.
Yeah.
And they ended up like, logging onto my shit and was like, yo, you failed by you didn't make it by 0.6. And I'm like, oh, well, I went to college. I didn't tell them, I didn't put it on there. So that's what had me pick up.
Yeah.
And then soon after I went on that debt.
Yeah.
And I got mapped to second. So I picked up second in like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Being in the Navy. That was fast. But now I'm just stuck. I'm at that point where I'm just like, hey, E5, not bad. E6, don't look fun. I feel like there's that. You could be at E5 and get out of the military whenever you want. It's like, all right. But as soon as you hit E6, that's it. You're like, I'm in it for life.
Yeah.
There's no point in going back.
Yeah. Yeah, I picked up E4 after our second deployment. It's funny because the second deployment, like I was like, fuck, dude, whatever. Like, I got overlooked multiple times, right? I'm like, whatever, like E3, I'll fucking bang this shit out so my contract's over. And I was like, E3 for life.
E3 Mafia.
Yeah, tatted it, right? I got E3 for life. And then 2 weeks later, once we get back, fucking I pick up, I'm like, oh, fuck, maybe, oh, shit. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have got that. But no, like E3, like, those are the best times and like the best experience, like just being like that go boy, like, but fuck, I took pride in it. I was like, fuck it, like, they don't want to hire, like, they don't want to promote me, like the higher ups don't want to fucking promote me. I'm like, whatever, dude. So I was like, let's grind it out. But then I picked it up, and then I actually picked up E5. Like, I took the test, passed that shit. Like, I was on the list to make E5, but that's when it off. Like right before I was getting out, when I got forced out.
Yeah, you're one of those. You didn't get the vaccine, so
yeah.
But they'll let you back in now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the recruiter's office, they're closed. I'm fine.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that was definitely a shitty time.
Yeah, those last like 10 months that I was in was like just shitty.
It was shitty too because like there's a lot of people that worked with us who were like really good fucking workers.
Like the best hands, yeah.
But like when you tell them like, hey, like, yeah, thank you for like joining the service, but just because you didn't get this vaccine, like you can get kicked out. It was like, damn, bro, like really, like that's it. And then they gave him like kind of bad news. Like there was no like set instruction, like big Navy was still trying to figure it out, and that's not something easy to figure out.
Right? Yeah.
It was like no one knew this whole pandemic thing was going to happen. So I give them credit for getting things like resolved quickly, and yes, benefiting those who like were kind of forced out.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like force you out. Like, all right, see you later. Like, boom. It was like hey, like, we're gonna help you out as much as we can, but because of the vaccine. And then they kind of reversed it, so they gave people the opportunity to come back, which I think kudos on their part. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I didn't really care either way because I had 2 months left of my contract when I got out, so I got out 2 months early.
So there was a lot of people who were just like really good workers that if they would have been able to finish that contract, it would have made so much things easier because they knew the job. They're they're SMEs in it, so it's like now this kid doesn't want to work no more. He's getting out, and he's got to wear this stupid mask all day.
Yeah, we're the only one.
Yeah, that was so bad.
Yeah, it did suck though. Like those last I would say about 8 months, because we knew that they shut down all the rest of the programs for us. We couldn't take classes, we couldn't do nothing. We couldn't set ourselves up for when we got out. I tried to do SkillBridge. I put in for SkillBridge. But after once that whole thing went down, none of that was all that shit was void. The test, make promotions, I couldn't get another pin, all that stuff. So at that point I was like, then why am I here? That was definitely a low point because I was like, dude, I felt like I felt like the Navy, I'm not trying to talk bad about the Navy or anything, but I just felt like why am I here? You guys don't need me, or you guys aren't using me properly how I want to be used. I want to work. I still want to do projects. I want to do this and that, but they kind of nope. But it is what it is, But now everything's kind of back in order. It's cool, But yeah, that was definitely a rough time.
It was a blessing and a curse.
Blessing and a curse. Yeah.
It sucked at the heat of the moment because you had no idea what the fuck you're gonna do.
Yeah, even just that, oh shit, we don't know what the future's gonna be for you. We don't know if you're getting kicked out. We don't know if you're getting other than honorable, whatever the case may be. No one has any idea.
Yeah, they got to figure that shit out.
Yeah,
it's not easy to figure out. It's kind of it's not just one person who's hey, this is what's gonna. It's they have to go through it, and the pandemic definitely caused that so much headache.
And that deployment too, that was rough.
Being separated and just wearing a mask. You know how hard it is to do construction and wear a mask all day long in fucking 110 degree weather.
Yeah, 100% humidity.
I worked in an office, so I was chilling. I had air conditioner. It was
you're in the Philippines at that one. It hits the second.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the last.
Oh no,
The second one I was in. Yeah, they
no, I'm talking about when we got extended.
Oh
yeah, that whole our COVID deployment. Dude, we were 3 weeks away from coming home.
Yes, I know. That was right before my birthday too.
Yeah, we're supposed to come back in April. It was March 15th or whatever, 16, 17, around that time. Weeks away from coming home. We had all our shit packed already. We were ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're getting back from the project, and then we just see OIC right there, just holding outside, holding a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And then we're all oh shit, he's gonna tell us something bad. And then, sure enough, they passed down the order. Hey, we know when we're going home. No traveling from, especially where I was at Marshall Islands. No traveling at all. They're not letting anyone leave the island or come into this island. We're getting extended. We don't know when. When we're gonna go home.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah,
so that was a long deployment.
Yeah, 6-month deployment turned into, for some, a 12-month deployment.
10, 11, 12, it was all.
I think the median was 10 or 12, 10 or 11. But yeah, I was just dude. Well, then they took us out of the Philippines and brought us back to Japan.
Oh, that's right.
That was miserable because then I was in not paradise.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, man.
At least I was grateful that I was it was a nice beach. So after work, and since there was no cases of COVID over there, we kind of got to be free, not have to deal with anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, we were chilling on the beach, drinking, and, fucked up.
It was controlled very well.
Yeah, it was
not so much where we were.
It was crazy though coming back home. Like, did you feel any weird, like weird at all when we got back home? And everyone's kind of on the back home. Everyone's on the same program, right? Like keeping distance from each other, whatever, social distancing, and then like all the stores, like they have their own little program, And then like we get back, we have like no idea, like, well, especially I know Japan was kind of like that, right? Like social distance. But once we got back home, I was like, what do I do? Like, what's this red X? Like, why do I have to stand right here? Like, I was like pulling up the people like right behind him, like, like.
I was always told not to stand on that X.
Yeah. X doesn't mark the spot.
Yeah.
But it was just like it was like definitely a culture shock coming home. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like this is weird.
Yeah. No, it was miserable for everyone to handle.
Yeah.
The military kind of handled it well because they just had to adapt. Semper Gumby, right? We had to adapt too. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But COVID definitely fucking. But not even your military life it affected. It was just like like you said, like your normal civilian life. Like when you leave the gate, like when you hang up your uniform for the day, they just ruined everything. Yeah. Then we had to like quarantine, and I didn't mind quarantining when I was in the States. I was like, 14 days. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, oops. See you do. Like, I guess.
Yeah, don't go to the store. I'm like, well, how am I gonna get drunk?
Where else do I buy beer?
Yeah. Oh, DoorDash? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? So that was fun. I got to, take 2 weeks off and just chill with my cat after the deployment, just chill and just regroup. But then you put on COVID weight. Oh, yeah. I'm still dealing with that. Everyone's like,
I never left. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It keeps me warm at night, so I ain't getting rid of it. Well, and then COVID was still a thing when we went on a third deployment. That was like your final deployment.
Yeah.
Those were some good times. That was like the last time we got to like be together and like we knew we were like, all right, like this is the last deployment we're gonna have. Yeah. Because like you're gonna get out either when your contract ends or
Yeah, like
whatever hits first. You were like, I'm still planning on getting out, so like I'll be good. Like I'm gonna figure all that out. But we knew it was our last deployment. We've been through a lot of shit. We were roommates for mad long too.
That was fun.
Yeah, in a room like this big.
Yeah, exactly. I can smell your feet pretty much. Like,
we had it packed down tight though.
Yeah,
it was good. Solid. We almost weren't roommates. You remember when we had to like tell a joke? Yeah. Hey, if you're listening, make friends with the CSs. Oh, yeah. They're in charge of where you sleep at night. And we were like, yo, can you put us together? And he was like, yep.
Like, I had worked with one of the CSs our first deployment. And me and him got cool, and I was like, hey, bro, need a big favor. Like, being my roommate, like, please. And he's like, I got you. So, sure enough, he took out my old roommate, just favors, tossed them.
Bye.
And then, then we got paired up, which is sick. Yeah, that made, like, that year, like, one of the best years that, like, I had there at 5.
We were both E3s, too. And then later on, in the home port, that's when I picked up E4. Yeah. And they're like, you can move out if you want. I was like, oh, I do that. Yeah. And then you were like, you better not fucking leave.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I would have left and you got a new roommate, yeah, well, I would have moved to a really like nice room because they had like pro court. You have like your own bedroom, like bathrooms bigger. You have a kitchen, living room. Those are Gucci. Yeah. But where we were was fucking hell. So you would have been miserable if you would have had some shitty room makeup. And you wouldn't have never got anything from New York.
All that food that you bring home, bro. Oh, those are best.
Aunt Diane's white lasagna, bro. Can't go wrong. You met her at the wedding, so now you know. Yeah, now you know. We had some great stories. Wake up in the morning. There's fucking goldfish and water everywhere.
Like, what the fuck happened last night?
We had a water fight. Yeah. Come home.
We were just sloshed, dude. We were like drunk as fuck.
Yeah. Well, what about first night's day? You remember when we went to the bar outside base?
Oh yeah.
But it was like all the way on the other side of it, and that gate is like not closed at that hour. Yeah. So we was like, fuck, how we get home? something called Fairly. Because it was like that program where it was like, hey,
yeah.
It's like, hey, if you're drunk, you can call this number, and someone in your command will come get you. And it's like that's their duty, you know. No one ever used it, but we were like, let's do it.
Oh yeah, because we had seafood first, right? Then we went to go eat seafood, and then we went to the bar next door.
Yep.
And then we're like, fuck it, let's just get hammered. We got drunk. Yeah, then we called for
We were like, yo, shout out Fairly. She did go for real. Yeah, we're like, come get us. She was like, man, come on. I was like, it's fucking Friday. And I'm like, yeah,
exactly.
You're right. You know what I mean? Because I bet no one ever used that. People were just like, nah, like, fuck that.
Yeah, I'm not going to call my second class or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
but we knew it was Fairly. So like,
that's the homie.
Let's ruin her now.
Yeah.
Getting her card. I was like, she's like, you better not throw it up. I was like, can't guarantee that. Yeah. Well, with Uber, they charge you like a big fine if you do it. But if it's your second class, what is she gonna do? Make you clean it?
It's probably make it clean.
That's fine though.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than pay fucking $150 or
yeah. If Uber had like a deal that like, hey, you either clean it or you pay for it, I'll be like, I'll probably just go pay for it. I'm not cleaning that shit up.
You're right. I wouldn't want to touch my own throw up either.
No. Well, now you're out of the military, right? So like, what do you got going on now?
Well, electrical, like that was my whole thing. Coming into the Navy, like that's why I joined. I always wanted to be a lineman, like that was my goal. Still is my goal. But I took a different path after I went to lineman school. Most people they obviously stick with the trade. But at that time, I had no electrical experience. I worked for the phone company. Installing telephone wires and shit. But once I knew I wanted to be a lineman, I knew how to get that experience. I obviously went a different route that obviously most people usually don't after they just went to a school for that job, So the only job that would have applied to it, well, at least what I thought when I read the description of a of a CE and the CVs, but I knew I was like, all right, cool. I can get electrical experience, construction experience, military experience. My dad was in the Navy. He was boss's mate. So I was like, it's cool. And I've always I always told myself sometimes I feel like there's not enough lifetimes for all the shit you want to do, in your life. I've always wanted to be a firefighter. I always wanted to do all kinds of stuff, but I mean, we'll have limited amount of time. Yeah. But I noticed too at that point, I noticed a bunch of my friends or people that I know pretty close were joining the military. And me always supporting military. I've always wanted to do it. But then after I went to lineman school, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go full force. I'm down. That's it. It is what it is, And then I actually went to Marine recruiting first. Went to the office at the mall.
Get any ends and join the Marines.
Yeah. But he said my tattoos. I had 2 half sleeves at the time, but they had a strict tattoo policy, I guess.
Yeah, because they roll their sleeves.
Yeah.
Day uniform of the day.
And then he was like, yeah, so it's gonna be tough, with us and Air Force. So he's like, your only options are Army and Navy. I was like, fuck the Army. Yeah, that's no, but then as my dad being in the Navy, I was like, well, fuck, Navy it is. So, but I only was gonna join the military. If it was going to be that job, the CE. I would have not taken anything else. Because I went in there specifically for that, to get construction experience, get all this stuff. So that was the deal breaker. But so yeah, that's what kind of prompted me to join the military, get my experience, and then now I'm taking that back out. And electrical, my goal is still to be a lineman, power lines. I'll work on that, and then. But yeah, I'm just a tradesman. I mean, I love all types of construction work. We learn a lot, in the CVs.
Yeah,
of everything,
not just shit with duct tape and zip ties.
Yeah, I mean, may not be the standard way out here because it's completely different. But
yeah, everywhere you go.
I mean, you just gotta make shit work sometimes. But learning all different types of things, it was really cool to learn plumbing, builder work, carpentry, all that shit, steel working. Gotta fucking weld some shit. Gotta do all kinds of things. So that was really dope and good to learn. But
Yeah, it's nice to, the CBs are literally like all we do is vertical construction.
Yeah.
So from the ground up, even though you're an electrician, you're gonna be a builder.
Yeah, you're
not
not just
gonna be
sit
an
back
equipment
like,
operator.
electrical work's not ready yet,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna sit. No, you
Like-
literally do everything.
Even the corpsmen are like landlocked.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, like, we gotta get this shit done.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
concrete,
it's nice when you look back and you're like, damn, I built this school in this third world country, or this
Yeah.
little like hospital for these, third world countries.
people
And, like,
need it.
this is sick. Now you have all that experience, so you can kind of make do and do.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of a little thing, a little bit. So that's good.
Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, what do you think is like one of the biggest misconceptions of the military?
Oof. I don't know. I'll let you start off with that because I can't think of it. I mean, like I'll probably need ideas, but maybe once you see yours, because I don't know that like. Fuck, dude. I got.
I kind of feel like
I'll have to like process it, think about it.
People might say, like when you join the military, it kind of like cuts you off from, not cut you off from your family, but kind of like gives you like some distance or like a gap,
Yeah.
In communication and all that, which I don't think is necessarily true,
No.
right? Because we always have phones. There's always internet or
Yeah,
data
in
or
our
whatever.
I think in our world or like our day society right now and how everything technology is, yeah, it's like you want. I mean, unless those ship guys are fucked, Like,
Yeah.
You can't get a cell service in that shit. But
I spoke to some of them already, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, fuck it."
yeah,
But I mean, that's just part of the job, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's the ultimate sacrifice, and you're eventually fighting for freedom. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But prime example, you got stationed an hour away from like where
yeah,
you live. So it's like, yeah, you might have to go away for a little bit, but with technology and where we are now with the world, and then eventually like another duty station coming around, like
yeah.
you'll eventually be back home. Like they give you a bunch of leave. It's like every month you get 2.5 days of leave, and that adds up quick. It doesn't sound like a lot, but there'll be points where they're like, "Yo, you need to take off because like you have too many days."
In 2 months you can get a week off, between the weekends.
Yes.
And that's it. You're home for 9 days.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And then depending on how you plan your
7
leave,
days.
yeah, you get a lot of time.
Yeah.
off.
But the 96s, when you get like back to back 96, and bro, there was 1 month where I only took like 12 days of leave, and I had like 28 days, I think it was, because of all the 96s and the beginning and end of my 96. I had taken it off. So like, yeah, dude, I got saved like so many days of leave, and I only used a little bit, and I was home for almost a month. Like, and I think I had quarantine too, so fuck, dude, I was like set.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was sweet. Yeah. But no, I mean, like, I always hear like too, like relationships wise, like all we're scumbags, I mean, some are, but
yeah, you're right. That's everybody.
yeah, everyone, yeah. Other guys that I meet now outside of it, they're probably worse. Yeah,
Yeah, low key. At least I have a job. I don't work at CBS.
yeah.
No offense if you do, but it's like I got a career. Like I'm in the military. I can't be that bad. Probably the guy next to me is not you, but this guy's a hit bag. But there is a lot of that. When I met my wife, I was in the military when I met Lauren, and everyone was like, "No, he's a Navy guy. Dead dirtbag."
Yeah.
Bitch, Like, we ain't all bad. So no, you're definitely right about that.
Yeah.
What do you have? If you can give any advice to someone who is thinking about joining the military or anything along those lines,
I would say do it right out of high school. That's one thing I like wish I would have done. I mean, I'm glad I did because obviously, when you go to places and you're gonna be out deployed or whatever, like obviously you're gonna be one of age to drink because it's a lot of peer pressure or whatever, or just like places that you just seem fun and everyone's out together or whatever. And you don't want to get caught up in like underage drinking because that's bad for everybody. But I mean, some places are 18 or whatever it is. But I would definitely like do it right out of high school. So if you just do your first contract and you get out, you're set, and you're only, you're young still. You have all your benefits. You have everything. Like, you can go to school for free, and you're still like in the round. You pretty much just went to college, like your buddy, just went to college for 4 years in another state or something like that.
Yep.
Pretty much the same thing, but you get like way more benefits, and you come out with money. You can actually like save up, and when the other guy's in debt, from college loans, student loans.
Yeah.
You're the opposite. You're like on top of everything. You got your money. You got this, and then don't get a credit card. That would be like my. I mean, obviously you want to build credit, but don't get it past like $1,000 or something like that. If you're just new and you're just like boom, boom, no, don't do it. Yeah. Like keep your finances like on point. That's like one of the biggest things. Like the biggest things, like pieces of advice. Like keep your finances on point. I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
A couple times, but
this dude loves swiping that credit card.
Yeah, it can turn bad real quick.
Especially with someone who's like, young and dumb and full of cum.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can get this. All I gotta do is this.
Yeah, you telling me all I gotta do is just swipe, and I don't have to worry about it till a year from now because I may get like zero payment, zero interest, whatever for the first,
Navy Federal's a great bank, but it's still a bank.
Yeah, they still want their money.
Yeah, they still want their money.
But yeah, that'd be like my biggest piece of advice. Like those two, I think. The 18 one, yeah, you could wait till later. I joined when I was 22, but that was another. It's like good and bad. It's because at 22, I had life experiences already, so I had more to bring to like teach people. I'll dry out.
It's okay. I'm not gonna keep you much longer.
No,
we're chilling. I do want to say one thing though. Like the whole reason for like me starting this podcast, right? Just to like show no political views or religion or race or we don't speak on behalf of Department of the Navy or Department of Justice. We're just two dudes kicking it, and I just want to hear stories, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're a veteran or you're active duty, I don't want to know what you do currently. I want just tell me some fun experience you've had, right? But also, you ever just like have like a goal and you just never get around to doing it, and then you kind of just go through, you're like, fuck, like I always wanted to do this, I just never did it.
Yeah.
That's what happened with this podcast. One day I was just like, you know what? I want to do it. And besides, rather than just sitting on my ass, I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it. So balls to the wall, I just said, fuck it.
Yeah, talking and learning about like other people, hearing other people's stories. We were, blessed, obviously, to not have to be in anywhere like too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But there are those guys, who had to see that and live that life, and shouts out to them. A drink one for them. But like, a lot of my buddies, went to Afghanistan and all that stuff. But like, it's great to like hear their stories, understand them, and
yeah, some people just want to talk.
Yeah, like that's literally like this is the best like medicine that you can do is talk to someone.
And I hate fucking reading books.
Yeah.
So this is like a movie. I get to like listen to it. And,
yeah. I can't even tell you the last time I read
a book. Green Eggs and Ham. Shit, I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
No, yeah, man. That's just like kind of the reason.
What would be your advice
about joining the military?
Yeah, like that you can learn from.
So, another like, you did your research prior to joining,
right?
So a big thing would be do your research, not only into what you want to potentially do, but also what branch of service would best fit you, right? The Navy is not for everybody. The Marines is not for everybody. Air Force, Coast Guard, keep going, right? So do your research into what branch you would want to get into. And then when you figure out what branch that is, then you start looking at jobs, right? Because if you want to be, a fighter pilot, but the Army doesn't really do that, well, then guess what? You're not into the fucking Army. But, if you want to be in the Army, then you got to kind of figure around that, right? So do your research. Make sure you pick the job that best fits you and that you'd be comfortable doing for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be your first contract.
And even if because I went in with the mindset I'm just gonna do one contract and get out because I had bigger plans after, right? Like, so much stuff I want to do, and I don't want to be tied down. Like you just kind of move on to the next thing. Like that's how life is. I had that plan set from day one. I was gonna do my first contract and get out. But going into the military, you obviously want to think, okay, like this is what I'm gonna learn. What are my options when I get out? Like, what are some things that this job that I do land or whatever that I wanted? Like, what are the benefits of getting out? Like, what's gonna help me? What job do I want after? What like my future holds? Because it's gonna come quick. It's gonna come quick.
Yeah,
dude. Those 5 years, bro,
they fly.
Went by so quick, and that's what a quarter of retiring, and that felt like that. I see how some people get trapped, or not trapped, but like next, okay, I'll re-enlist, because I'm not ready to get out yet. You see that all the time. Yeah. Like I re-enlist and like I don't have nothing planned out outside it. So okay, another 2-3 years. Okay, then now you're sitting at 8 years, and then you're like, all right, well, this last duty station was fun or whatever. Like, oh, this kind of sucked. I'm gonna go to a better one. Okay, like one more contract, boom, and then next you're half of 20, and then you're like,
I can't just stop.
Yeah, you're like, why am I gonna get out now? Like, and that was quick, I'm sure. So next boom, like people are at 20, and then retire, and then they're still young, and then get another cool job or a cake job, whatever whatever you wanted.
Mm-hmm. Plus the whole family thing, right? Like if you got any, like if you're brand new, I wish I would have did that right out of, because I would have been where I am today if I would have joined right out of high school or when I did. So, but I would have been a lot further in my career. I would have had those extra 5 years. So I'd be sitting, at like 12 years right now. But I'm not. I did the opposite, which I don't regret it whatsoever.
No, I don't regret it either because
I went to college. I had my fun.
Yeah, I had my previous life experiences, and I think it benefited me. Like even working construction, or like obviously in being like in the military, like you kind of like learn some things from like an old head that like you learned from when you got out of high school working like a little construction job or whatever. Like you just kind of learn a few tricks. So then it makes you better. And then helps like everyone around too,
Yeah, the older you are, the more experience you got.
Yeah, exactly. So like I mean, obviously going in at 18, if you're planning to do something quick and get out, and then to be set up for the future, like whatever you else want to do, or if you do go in at a later time like we did, that's also good too. Because I mean, I got what I was 27, still young, like still in the middle of my golden years, I guess you can call it.
Golden years. Yeah.
But so I still have that same, but you just that time from 21 to 27 is a lot different. What was like the best, like the most memorable, like honorable, I guess, thing you can say that like you did in the service? Well, I mean that you're still doing that, but like your best, either like you did an exercise or you did a a deployment here that you did this for the kids, or what was like
that's kind of what it gets to is building relations with all of these other countries and all these other militaries and just the people who live there, right? Yeah. So like when I went somewhere, I built a 2-room classroom, and then next to it was like a smaller building that they used as like a medical facility.
Yeah.
And just seeing the way that like people were living, but it's normal for them, so they're okay with it.
Yeah.
But to give them something brand new,
not
only to help mold the minds of the young, but also like give them some medical help as well. That was amazing. What really made it special was the appreciation that they show.
Oh,
right? So you build all this, and then we have like a big ceremony at the end with like the whole ribbon cutting, and the whole community comes. Yeah. All like these big dogs come, and it's like, wow, like I built this.
Yeah.
Like I was miserable. It was raining. We're working 12-hour days. We don't get a day off.
Yeah.
It's hot. I'm not used to this. The food is making me shit and throw up all day long. But it's over, and I am just so happy for, what I can provide these people. And they're just so appreciative. Like, they build us these big feasts, and they make us, like, the simplest little, like, construction paper origami thing.
Yeah.
To them, it's like the best thing ever. To me, I'm like, oh, great, I'm going to probably not ever keep this thing, but you know, it's just like it's the little shit like that where it's just like you bust your ass for 6 months, and for that 4 hours you're out there celebrating.
Oh yeah,
worth it.
100%.
Worth every fucking minute of it.
Yeah, like seeing, you know, while you're on the projects and stuff, you see like the kids, you know, like they're playing around and stuff. Right?
Start
You
playing
start playing with them. Yeah. You show them like little tricks, like little like cool stuff you learned or whatever.
Like the whole
yeah, I did that to those kids. Oh my god, like they started doing it, and then the next day you see them all like, hey, like, you know, playing it, like doing the little finger thing, or just like little, you know, little fun things that we used to do as a kids. But yeah, and then after, like, you know, or even giving them treats too, like we have, you know, we can get a bag of candy like whenever we want, whatever, you know, like it's available to. But then these kids, they don't got that, like, you know. So, you know, we on project sites, you know, like we'll tell them like, hey, like, you know, like earn your candy, right? Like, you know, oh, go, or like I'll ask some questions or do whatever, like something that not. I'm not just gonna give you candy, just make your teeth more work, you know, like.
Yeah.
But you know, like something to incentivize them, and then after they do it, all right, cool, like here you go, buddy, you know, like a Snickers bar or whatever, you know, like those kids were the coolest kids, like some of the funniest kids too, like those kids, they're like hilarious on deployments.
Yeah, no, they're definitely there.
But yeah, that satisfaction though of like building something that, you know, we built an evacuation center, and I was like, these people have no running water, no power, no nothing, you know, and they live in shacks, like old plywood, you know, and then you just kind of walk and you see, you're like, damn, like obviously to us, like, you know, we see it, and we're like, oh man, it's not, obviously they've been living it for,
yeah, they're like,
you know, that they're used to it.
This is fun. Like I'm living life. I got water, got a roof.
Yeah, you appreciate everything you have more. And then after that, yeah, like you said, that ribbon cutting ceremony, and the whole tribe is there, the whole everybody, you know, the governor, like whatever like country you're at, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a great feeling, and then you see like how happy they are to have all these things, and very appreciative for like the work we do, you know. And it's very satisfying, like that last little, and it's like it's something that you'll just keep with forever, you know, that memory.
Facts.
Yeah, it was dope.
All right, bro. I'm not going to keep you any longer, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Right. I appreciate you, Big Dog. Thank you so much. Keep bringing it. Give me a hug. I love you, bro. Thank you for coming out and doing this with me.
Anytime.
And thank you for being one of my groomsmen, man. That was,
of course.
That was an honor.
Hey, get ready for mine whenever I have mine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You'll probably join the Navy again. Maybe you'll meet your wife in the Navy. Maybe it's a sign.
Hey, maybe.
Nope. All right, man. Until next time, catch you guys on the pod.
Deuces. Did I say anything?
No, you're good.
Anything bad?